Coming up on the Rudebuoyz rant, we're going to talk about corporations and what they do is the workers and the fact that the workers is not doing a damn thing to fix their vibe. Man, this is the Rudebuoyz rant, like I said before, and this is the Dirty Immigrant.
Scotland, wow, you didn't get into that one.
Yeah, I'm getting old. I got back issues now. Even when I laugh or feel it, it's not really
man.
hurting when I move. It's when I first get up.
Yeah.
Once I start moving, my back's good.
Yeah.
But my hip is giving a little trouble. You know what I mean? But then again, I expected that to start happening to me. I'm 7'1".
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't think there's any permanent damage in my back. I was doing fine. And then I went and overexert myself again. So, you know what I mean? I ain't going to get no rest until Friday because I walk straight through.
Dang.
But it's all good. We'll see how that rumbles.
So basically, you're saying that you can't make yourself laugh right now, so you can't be funny.
Well, yeah, I could laugh, you know, once I get settled in and take it all. Right. But yeah, so we're going to talk about
I tried to give you the little bit more comfortable chair out of these two when you said your back was hurting again. I was like, man, I sat in that one and I thought, he might want this one. This one feels a little better.
Yeah, let's talk about these bloody corporations, man. They laying off workers, and you know what I mean. And I ain't gonna name the one I work for. It's just to me, you know what I mean. But the one I work for just laid off, and everybody's gonna know who I'm talking about anyway. But I didn't name it. They just laid off like 1,600 managers nationwide. 1,600, dude.
Wow.
Walmart has been doing the same thing. You know what I mean? And I just saw GM. Is it GM? I think GM just froze the pensions of their workers. I just read that this morning, or was it last night when I got off work? I'm telling you,
what's the matter? Are the CEOs afraid they're not going to get their
bonuses,
their 6- and 7-figure bonuses for Christmas?
You know what I mean? And apparently,
because they actually have to give something to the people who are doing the job.
The one I work for just said that they're gonna clear $1 billion in profits because of what they just did. No,
I don't mean to laugh, but it just.
You see, when I was
because I definitely don't think it's funny that a bunch of people just got put out of work.
Yeah.
But when it's not because our business is struggling, and if we don't do this, we're gonna have to lay off even more. Blah blah. Blah. No, it's we're gonna.
You see, because listen. These companies, they don't care about customers.
No,
they don't care about employees. They care about shareholders.
Yeah,
they care about CEOs making millions. They don't care about anybody else.
Well, and that's even clear because like you said with Walmart, I mean, how many times do you go in there and lines are just backed up?
Yeah, but
they don't have anybody else that can come take a register.
No,
because
they're cutting the hours.
And you finally get up front. And the poor person that's working the register just looks like they're about ready to collapse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I personally think this is a prelude to make everything automated. I think what they're doing is they're getting people used to this, and then because once they get people used to the fact that there's very little humans in there, and they're bitching about not having, and then here comes the robots, and they do a quick job. Everybody's going to go, okay, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how they're going to do the automation if people are out of work because you have the automation going on. They're not creating other jobs for these people to go to.
People aren't going to be able to afford to go buy these things.
Yeah. So who is going to buy it? The robots going to buy it? I don't see the robots eating ice cream. It's going to rust out their joints. You know what
Might
I mean?
be rusting out our joints too. I don't know, but
I used to work for another company that's gone now, and it seems like that. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's what these companies are doing. The upper echelon of the company is telling these people to cut hours. They're cutting hours because they don't want to give 401k and they don't want to give medical. Yet these idiots out here who are voting for these politicians are saying the government shouldn't give Medicare. Well, who is going to, you moron, if your companies are giving you part-time so that you don't get medical? Who the hell is going to give you medical?
Yeah.
That's one. Number two, unions. Unions are a waste of time right now because they're not unions anymore. They're businesses. Unions are sending you letters telling you, hey, you could get a loan for low interest. And I'm thinking, you're supposed to get me out of debt, not put me in debt.
Yeah, that's going to make things worse. Yeah.
What is this all about? You're supposed to be getting my pay raise so that I could afford to do it without having to take out a bloody loan.
Yeah.
You selling me that, so you're a business now.
Everybody wants you to keep taking out loans. I don't know how many times I'll get something in the mail from one of the credit card companies that I have that says, "Hey, you're pre-approved for a pre-approved for a $35,000 loan that can help you consolidate debt. Just pay it all off with this." I'm like, "Great, then I'm going to be paying you off."
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, what's the difference? You know what I mean? And it's a vicious circle too, because here's the thing, okay? They cut workers' hours. People gonna get desperate. They're gonna steal. When they steal, they send them to the privatized prisons. So these rich people just making money in circles.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Oh, and these idiots they're kissing these rich people's bums so much they can't see what's going on. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Like I was told,
I can't tell the difference.
Like I was told, you just got to learn how to kiss the ring.
Yeah,
like, man, shut up.
You know what I mean. I can't tell the difference between brown people and white people anymore. Their faces all brown out from kissing butt.
Like I told a former manager when I used to work at Burger King, I was like, "Man, you were so far up the boss's behind today." I was like, "Man, it's back there on your ears, dude."
You know what I mean? And it ain't chocolate.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. So check this out. Okay, let me give you some actual. Okay, when I first started working retail, and retail is feeling it the first and most. When I first started working retail, everybody had 40 hours.
Yeah.
Everybody had a chance to get 401k and medical insurance.
When I worked at Burger King when I was in high school, I mean, the only reason I guess you could say I was kind of limited is because I actually said, "Look, I'm in school, so I can't be doing all this." But man, when it got to summer, I mean, I was clearing well over 30 hours a week easy.
Yeah.
And sometimes even getting more. I mean, there were times I know I got overtime.
Yeah.
You know, and that was working for a fast food place while I was in high school.
Not anymore, dude. Let me tell you. They don't even hire maintenance people. They have other people doing the maintenance work. Like that store I used to work at before, Toys R Us, I'm going to call that one. I used to work for Toys R Us. And when I was working there back in the late 80s, early 90s, they had a maintenance guy. That's a guy that do that, okay?
Yeah.
And all the companies are doing that now. What they do is they get rid of that position and they just have workers going in there cleaning the bathrooms.
Yeah.
Well, here's how I see it. The bathrooms look good, but it ain't clean. Because these people don't know what chemicals to use to kill germs and stuff like that. And you got to use some industrial stuff. Have you ever been to the bathrooms? The other day where I work, somebody went to the bathroom, like they took a number 2 in the urinal.
South Park fans.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a whole episode of that.
Yeah, I know, but these are just... Oh.
No, I know. It's disgusting.
And that's not the first time I've seen that. No, you send just an ordinary person to go in there and clean. They don't know what they're doing. They're just trying to make it look better.
Well, think about this, too. At the university where I work, several of the restrooms, when you walk into a stall, they actually have to put a note on the door that says, "Please flush when you're done. Nobody wants to see what you did."
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? We have to tell people to do this?
You got to tell people that. You got to tell them to wash their hands. You have to tell them to. You have to tell them stuff like that. You know what I mean? And instead of hiring, because we have hepatitis C going around, an explosion of AIDS going around. You got all this stuff going around. Needles everywhere.
Yeah.
Hire somebody specific to do that. I mean, you should see people run around when they see a needle. Nobody wants to touch it. We are not equipped to do that. And don't tell me they care about no damn employees. Don't tell me they care about no damn customers. You know what I mean? Especially when you have just ordinary people. And here's the thing. Here's the problem. We are freaking fighting for the scraps.
Yes.
Because a lot of companies have stuff now where you could bump another worker and take their hours.
Really?
Some people get all the hours taken. So how is people supposed to survive when they commit a crime?
I'm sorry, how does that work?
How does that work? If you have seniority, you could bump the next person and take their hours.
Wow.
That's where we are now.
Like you can basically say, "Hey, I'll work Thursday night instead of them."
Yeah.
Type of thing. Whoa.
And sign it up. Boom. They lost their hours.
Whoa.
They lost their hours, dude. We fighting for the freaking scraps.
Dang. That's wrong.
Dude, that's how bad it is.
Well, I
now.
mean, for one, obviously it's
see?
bad enough that somebody has to consider, I need to bump you so that I can get more hours.
Exactly. You see, and you have all these idiots out there talking about there's jobs out there. But listen, if they bring in the jobs, but the jobs don't give you enough hours to survive, what's the point?
Exactly, yeah.
But you're also bloody blinded and you don't dig in to see what's going on instead of paying attention and going, hey, yeah, we have jobs. What type of jobs is it? Are people able to survive? You know, an apartment, a one-bedroom apartment in New York is now $3,000 a month. Whew. And a one-bedroom apartment in New York is pretty much a toilet, a piece of kitchen, and a bedroom.
I was going to say, what a lot of them are probably even just a whole open space,
right?
Yeah,
efficiency type stuff. Do you understand what's going on here? 90% of the people in this country is not going to be able to afford stuff like that.
Well, and the other thing, too, cities are trying to get it so that people want to live in the city so that they're using their cars less. But then again, okay, if I'm going to save, $80 a month in gas, but I'm spending another $1,500 a month in rent than if I lived outside the city. I'm like, holy smokes.
The cities want rich white people to move into the cities. That's what they want.
Yeah.
That's what they want. That's why DC got nice so quick, because they push all the poor people into Maryland. That's what's happening to Detroit. Everybody's like, Detroit boys are coming here because they want to sell drugs. A lot of Detroit people are getting pushed out because they're gentrifying the freaking area. Putting up high rises so that they, the ones they call the working class, but those that are making $100,000 and something, they could move into these places.
Well, they're also the only ones who can afford those.
They're pushing poor people out.
Man, on my salary, there's no way I could afford a one-bedroom apartment in New York City. Heck no.
Do you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no suburbs. There won't be any suburbs anymore. They want to keep all and the thing about it is they keep in those people who make more money in this. Dude, listen, I know I'm skipping around, but this is really making me angry.
Yeah.
I'm not so angry that it's happening. It's angry that everybody's just accepting it. You know what I mean? And then going after each other. Yeah. I saw a meme that says each retail person should get 1 minute with a customer in a room and punch them in the face. I said, no, each retail person should make a living wage so when the customers are rude, we could ignore them because we know we're going home to a home where we have no stress and we could pay our damn bills.
Yeah.
Why we got to punch each other?
The way my job was last year when we got shorthanded and it felt like I was doing everything, if we had been allowed to, like when that law was trying to get put in place about if you didn't make a certain amount of money, then you were going to be hourly and you could get overtime. If I knew that I was getting, paid overtime, I'm like, I still would have been stressed because I had so much stuff to do. But then when you saw your paycheck, you could kind of just go, okay, that makes me feel a little better, But I mean, I actually tried to think about one time. I know actually I did figure this out one time. There was a week that I had worked last year in the fall, and it was well over 80 hours in 1 week. But the problem is, obviously, I am salary. God, I can't talk this morning. And they had already figured out what our hourly wage would be, if that law did come into effect, which obviously it didn't. And so I took that, figured it out with how much I had worked that week. Man, I think I was actually essentially making less than minimum wage that week.
Yeah.
And
they look at salary as a way to exploit you to get as much out of you with the same pay.
Yeah.
That's all that is. Where I'm from, everybody work for salary, but you work your 40 hours or so and you go home.
The only time my job is 40 hours a week is in the summer. That when nothing else is going on. That is the only time that my job is 40 hours a week. Now, I'm not the only one in this department who, is working well more than 40 hours a week. There are several other, positions in there that are probably even working a hell of a lot more than I am. But, I mean, that really is the only time. Summer is the only time where my job is 40 hours a week. The rest of the year, once we get into about mid-August, and for me, since I'm with softball, all the way in through about mid-May at least, I'm probably averaging about 55, 60 hours a week.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
You know? But I'm not getting anything extra on top of that. I'm making the exact same thing.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and then like I said, okay, here's an example. That other place I used to work at.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time they sent up. My manager was a good guy. He wanted to give all the hours he possibly can, and I knew him since he was a teenager, so we were friends. So the company sent all these hours. So he's like, oh, yeah, you know, I could give all these people hours. You know, they're really good workers. You know, I'll reward them. The company sent him an email and said, don't give them the hours. Hire more people. And he said, well, what's going to happen when you cut the hours again? Just keep them on the books and don't give them any hours.
Wow. What and was
just because they don't want to give any freaking any benefits.
Well, and wasn't it too when several of the major companies, especially car companies, when we gave them the bailout, and they had all promised, don't worry, that this is so that we can keep the business going, we can keep our workers going. None of our CEOs are going to get any bonuses. And then what happened? They got the bailout, and the CEOs got bonuses.
Oh yeah.
There might have been one or two companies that didn't do it.
Yeah.
But then several others like, okay, well, here's your $1 million. Here's your $1 million. Here's your $4 million.
And then they turn around and give some employees $200. That's not even rent.
No. If
but
that is rent, you've got a roof caving in.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah.
Dude, we got billion-dollar companies not paying any taxes, and these idiots are still going, well, you know, for the amount they're paying pretty much the same we do. They shouldn't be paying the same we do. If you make $10 billion a year, you should want to go, hey, let me pay more taxes so that I could help build the roads.
Yeah, right. You kidding me? These people figure out ways to scapegoat out of it or whatever, so they don't have to pay for that.
We pay for the roads for them to
transport
their crap that they overprice us for while we work for them, and then we give them back the damn money.
Well, I know I said this on the last show, but for anybody who might be new, think about this as far as with, you know, wages not going up and stuff. Just an example of my water bill. When I first moved into an apartment, there was just me. I'm getting another random Virginia number calling me. They must know we're talking about some of this stuff.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. But when I first moved into an apartment by myself, okay, so just me, one-bedroom apartment, I paid for water and sewage combined together, and it was costing me only about $21 to $23 a month, okay? Then suddenly, as it started to go up just a little bit more, was kind of getting around maybe 27, 28. Then suddenly I started getting another bill from the Huntington Sanitary Board, and it said, oh, well, what we're doing is now separating the water and the sewage. So they're not going to the same place. We're actually getting our money that we're supposed to get from the water company. Okay, whatever. Well, now suddenly the two of them combined are now about $30. I'm like, all right, so I'm paying now two separate places, and the price just went up again. And now just my water bill is $33 a month. And remember, folks, I'm not like just using a buttload of water here. Yeah. I'm not filling up the tub every day. I'm not, I don't have both sinks just totally filled up full of water and doing all this stuff. So I'm not using a ton of water. I'm not taking 4 showers a day, none of that stuff. But so I'm paying, my water bill is $33 a month, and now my sewage is about $22 a month.
Yep. And you see,
none of the wages have gone up.
And they're doing that stuff like cheeky, gradually.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even notice it one day and go, what the blood?
Well, they'll send you a little notice that says, oh, by the way, this went up another 2%.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, this went up another 0.5%. Yeah. Oh, by the way, this one went up another 1.5%.
But the 1.5% and 2% is a lot for somebody who is on a fixed budget.
Well, and not just that, but gradually over the years that you're still here.
Yeah.
Then suddenly it's like, wait a minute, I used to pay only $25 a month for both, and now I'm paying over $50 a month for both.
Yep. And people are not paying attention. Dude, it's all about the money. You're all worried about the race. And granted, some people are getting, because of their race or their sexual and all of that, they're getting, I understand that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of rich black people and gay people too. You think Buttnick or what in name give a rat's butt about you? The guy running for president, he don't care. That dude is getting money from donors, rich freaking donors.
Yeah.
He don't care. But no, let's have our first gay prime minister. Same thing with Obama.
Well, and Hillary.
You know what I mean? Let's have our first black president. My man was getting money from rich people. You think he's going to take care of your broke butt?
He's a Chicago politician. The only way they get out of there is either they go to jail or they somehow make more money and move on to something else, man.
I'll tell you what.
Look, Illinois wishes Chicago could become its own state because, okay, over the summer, there was at one point where they raised the taxes on gas so much that gas prices in Illinois shot up. The people who were living anywhere near the border of that state were jumping over the border to go buy their gas somewhere else. My mom said that she saw something where there was some gas stations in Paducah, Kentucky, which is right along the border there with Illinois. They saw their amount of gas that was being bought skyrocket about 200-300% when this happened.
Yeah.
And why? Because Chicago is draining the state of Illinois. And you would think, okay, man, Chicago's a big city. You've got all of these things going on. How in the hell are you all have no money? The politicians are sucking it all dry.
They're sucking that money out.
The politricksters are sucking it dry. The big-time CEOs are sucking it
dry. The preachers.
Yeah, oi. Man,
Listen. I know a song animated about this, but I'm not some talking head. I'm living this.
Oh, yes.
We live in this.
We are not getting paid. Okay, we're not like those people who are on MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, who are sitting there making millions of dollars to scream stuff at you and say, this is what you should be fighting about. This is what you should care about. This is fake news about this, and they're trying to bring this person down, blah, blah. No. We are working paycheck to paycheck.
You know what I'm saying?
And every month sitting there going, oh, my God.
Yeah, why you think we call the Rudebuoyz? You understand what I'm saying? And this is not just me babbling and complaining. I'm living this.
Yeah. And now, look, I will definitely admit, I know I'm doing better than a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know I am.
I'm doing decent than a lot of people, but, still.
I'm still not doing that well. I'm still in a one-bedroom apartment. I can't afford to move into anything bigger. And people always want to say, well, why don't you just pick somewhere else, go move there, and find a job there? It's like, because the way things are right now, unless you somehow have this giant savings account,
a lump sum,
you can't afford to just pick up and go move somewhere else and hope to find a job.
Exactly. Where you going to go? New York is where most of the more big-paying jobs are. You can't. Here I can't work and save money to pay $3,000 a month for one bedroom.
No. Hell no. Man, my rent here is $450 a month.
And
I'm in a decent little spot.
And listen, here's another thing. Okay,
we are fired up today.
Here's another thing that aggravates me. You see all these people like trade schools. I totally understand trade schools. Mm-hmm. But the rich people ain't telling the kids to go to no damn trade schools.
No, they're paying money to falsify SAT records and stuff like that. And their
kids are going to be telling your kids what to do forever.
Exactly.
That's why they're talking about trade schools all of a sudden. Because they realize all these ordinary people are going to colleges and starting to compete with the damn kids.
Well, and not just trade schools, but man, if we're going to keep knocking off some of those jobs, where are those trade school people going to go?
Exactly.
We're going to replace you with robots anyway.
Yeah, the robots going to go welding.
Yeah,
what are you going to do then?
Yeah, learn how to weld a robot. You better.
You understand what I'm saying? Do you see where we're heading? Do you see where we're heading? I don't know if people think that, listen, we are all civilized, France was civilized until the damn French Revolution. Mm-hmm. They were considered the Renaissance, of the time.
That's a pretty good twist of your face there. I like that.
You understand? And the next thing, off with the heads.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Well, I mean, think about even just the early days in this country. We were so happy and all this, hey, we got our own place. This is great. Man, what in the hell is Britain trying to do to us?
Yeah.
You want us to pay for your war that you just had overseas? You're going to keep hiking up all these taxes on us? I mean, what ended up happening?
We got all these politicians up there playing stupid games, and people stop with the crap about stuff being communism. You understand? Because right now you have absolutely no protection as workers.
None. Yeah.
Who is going to protect you? Why the bumbleclad do you vote somebody in to office if they're not? What is the government doing?
Mm-hmm.
Is the government just there to just say we have a government? Or are they there to go, hey, you, Mr. Corporation, you can't do that. You can't have somebody on your payroll with 0 hours. How are they going to eat?
Well, you know what? They'll say that until the corporation goes, here, look, the next time you come up for election, I'll give you $1 million so that you can run. And they go, all right.
And that's why we have to get money out of freaking politics. We should be the one, you see, and they keep us so poor, we can't even donate to the damn politicians that we want representing us.
Mm-hmm. This man is fired up over here. He is fired up.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad I'm sitting all the way over here, man, because your hands are getting so animated right now, and you got a long reach.
You know what I mean? Wake up. You know what I mean? It's some people are and I mean, this is not no bashing Trump or anything, but I know this lady, she was a Trump fan and stuff, and the other night, she said, I hate him! I was like, what? She voted for him.
Oh,
she
man.
voted for the man, and no, she's like, I hate him. You know, and then these idiots are like, he's an outsider. You morons! This man tells you that he paid politicians to get favors.
Yeah.
He's an insider.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
go pay your politician. You don't even have the money to pay your politician to go get favors.
The only way he was an outsider was the fact that he was not a senator or a governor or whatever before he ran for president.
But he was a party trickster.
Oh, big time.
You can't get that rich
time.
without being a bloody poly trickster.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot. Listen.
Tricksters and con men are the same. Con artists.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going to lump everybody, man, woman, whatever.
Pelosi.
Con artists. Tricksters and con artists are the same people. Man, how do you think these people con us to be able to vote for them? And then they get up in office and go,
I go to church every day. Here, Monica, let me soil your dress. But he goes to church every Sunday.
What was that? What was that? What was it, like a senator from North Carolina that in one of the presidential elections he's trying to go, oh, yes, I am morally upstanding. I always go to church. And oh, praise God this and praise God that. And then some woman said, he's been cheating on his wife for like 10 years with me.
You know what I'm saying?
And then he's standing up there. It's like, I am so sorry. While wife's standing next to him with the look of death.
Yeah. You understand what I mean? Oh, I'm going to go to church, so here's my wiener. It's coming to you in a text. Wiener.
Man, government trying to call you too?
No, just a telemarketer.
You know what? And probably some of these telemarketers are probably going, so in the next election, so-and-so is going to be trying to run. You should donate to this. Man,
I mean,
shut
come
up.
on, man. Something, and I ain't talking violence.
No.
You have the tools. You have to go out and vote. But you have to pay attention to what's going on. You can't be listening to CNN and Fox News and all these people. Mind you, they are part of a corporation.
Oh, yeah.
A corporation that gives the politicians money so that they could get favors. Who the hell you think they're going to talk about? You think they care about you? No. You really think they're going to go up there and talk about the struggle? How many?
Look.
Very rare see Fox talking about the struggles of the. They're all talking about all that crappy.
Hang on. The liberal news outlets, all they're trying to do right now is tear down Trump.
Yeah.
And Fox News is really about the only major conservative news outlet. So I'm going to say Fox News. And Fox News or any other, conservative outlet right now is trying to blame the Democrats for everything.
Yeah.
That's all that they're doing right now.
Yeah.
They don't care that we're working paycheck to paycheck. They don't care that you're sitting there, you just got a new job, but you're only getting 15 hours a week, and now you're sitting there going, man, how in the heck am I supposed to get out of this debt that I have?
I saw somebody, I don't know if I was watching Fox or something, because I do watch them, because it's important. In order for me to analyze the whole situation, I got to watch all of them. But I watched this billionaire talking about, these Democrats are talking about this and they're talking about this, but what have they done for the little man? Am I a little man to you?
What have you done for the little man?
Oh, we've done jobs. What? The minimum wage jobs?
Yeah.
And we can't pay bills?
Minimum wage jobs for no more than about 25 hours a week.
You got these dumbasses. You got these people.
Remember, lucky thing here, this is the podcast. We're not live on MUL. So, because that's twice for you already today.
You got these idiots going, yeah, you know what I mean? Go get a job, No, get two or three. You know what I mean? I remember Jeb Bush talking about how lazy Americans are. There's a point in that. They want you to go work 2-3 jobs. That's why they raise the freaking age. That's why they raise the age for retirement. Or they want to. That's why they lower the age to when you're going to start. You're going to be a worker bee for the rest of your life after you finish coming out of that damn trade school.
Well, and that's why, too, when they keep talking about they're basically going to take away Social Security. It's like, man, this is something we've been paying into for years. Yeah. And now probably may not get any of it.
But here's the thing. Because they changed the narrative. It's not your Social Security anymore. It's an entitlement.
Yeah.
Like, you're not supposed to get the money you're paying for.
Exactly.
What is going on? See, people are buying this.
All they have to do is add in the word entitlement, and people will go off.
Yeah, they'd be like, no, well, you shouldn't be getting it. You moron. You paid into it. They're telling you can't get it.
We should have been filming this in video, man. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? The thing, dude. Going back to the whole retail and corporation stuff, well, here's the deal. The corporations send down their mandates. Everybody's got to work and do what they say. Mm-hmm. And instead of people going to the corporation and complaining about stuff, okay, there's not enough people working. Well, ours was cut.
Yeah.
Well, then you should be doing what? What can we do? We have no power over that. You're cursing us out. Yeah. Here we are, busting each other up, wanting to punch each other in the face, and not paying attention to where the issue is.
Mm-hmm. And if somebody who way up top was seeing that, would you say it was a meme saying that every retail person should get a chance to punch someone in the face? They're probably sitting there going, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I keep raking it in. You guys want to fight.
It's the black man's fault. It's the gay man's fault. It's the woman, single mother fault.
Yeah.
You morons. I am so sick of people listening to people and they pay attention to what's going on around you. Come on now. You know what I mean? Black people didn't cut your hours so you can't pay bills. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You tell me black people ain't got that kind of power. You understand what I mean?
And as far
gay
as
people didn't do that.
Well, as far as trying to blame everything too on illegal immigrants, first of all, a lot of these rich people are hiring people that they know that they can pay them less,
and a lot of rich people are marrying them, and you know what I'm talking about. But no, you sitting there going, it's their fault. Yeah, well, you women should go. It's their fault that you can't marry a rich man because you're marrying them.
Not going to have to normalize much out of this.
You know what I mean? It's like, open your eyes. It's kind of like this. China is bad. Oh, you guys should be scared about going to these countries. And they do business with them. Mm-hmm. They're telling you to be scared of them, but they're not scared to go in there with their money. And you know how they love their money. They're not going to go in there with their money if they know they're going to lose it.
How many giant ships cross the Pacific every day full of cargo coming from there?
Yeah. You understand? They're doing business with them and telling you, no, they're bad. Come on, man. They're not even hiding stuff from you all anymore. Dude, they're doing the same thing to you all that they were doing to South America back then. And when we were telling you all, they're doing it to us. You're like, oh, no, you're just complaining. You're lazy. But no, they're telling you you're lazy.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we do know some lazy people, but there are a lot out there who are struggling.
Most people are hardworking people.
Yes, exactly.
I work with a lot of them.
I had 3 different jobs at one point and was still sitting there going, oh, man. How am I going to afford that? How am I going to afford that?
What's going on in there?
Who cares? Maybe they're learning something. It'd be funny if we walked out of here and we had an audience standing outside going, ooh, yeah.
I'm just fired up about this. You know what I mean? And it's not so much, you could blame, I could sit here and blame corporations for what's going on and all of that. But the blame is solely on the backs of poor people who keep kissing these rich people's bums.
Hoping that you'll get some of that.
You ain't getting nothing. Mm-mm. I remember one guy was like telling me about, yeah, man, all these people wanted to get free stuff. They should pull themselves up by the bootstrap. I said, okay, was your mom rich? No. Was your grandparents rich? No. Was your grandparents before them rich? No. I said, well, you all been pulling yourself up by the bootstrap for generations and you ain't going nowhere. Doesn't that tell you something?
Yeah.
Generations you're pulling up by bootstrap and you have nothing. As a matter of fact, right now, that same dude is on government assistance. That same fool that's talking about pulling up by the bootstrap is on government assistance right now. And complaining about other people having it. Well, no, you need it and you're on it. moron. You know what I mean? I gotta hear this stuff day in, day out, dude. And it's like, I don't say nothing, but I just stand there like, oh. They were talking about something. They're talking about something. I thought I heard somebody else.
Oh, okay.
They were talking about something the other day, and someone, these people wanting $15 an hour. That's the problem. What?
Well, it's because you can't live off of $7.50. Gas keeps jumping between $2.50 and $3.
You can't even pay $450 a month rent on $7.50 an hour.
No, hell no. The only way I could is if I was getting 40 hours a week plus overtime.
Yeah.
And even at that, I'd still be going, all right, I got to go. I can only spend about $20 in groceries this week.
Dude, and if you notice, you go to the grocery store, the only thing that's cheap is the chemically based stuff, the stuff that's giving you cancer, that's causing all kind of liver and heart and all kind of, those are the things that are cheap.
Oh, yeah. If you try to eat healthy, man, that's expensive.
And let me tell you something else, too. I'm not so for sure about it, but this is something I think that's going on. They plan out how much chemicals you could take for a 70-year lifespan. How long? Think about it, dude. Mm-hmm. Most people, when they get to like 70, that's when they start having issues. Mm-hmm. That's when they start having cancer and all of that. Like, okay, my ex-wife's mother died of cancer, and my ex-wife was like, well, cancer will get you sooner or later. When I was growing up, people weren't dying left and right of cancer. I barely knew what it was.
Yeah.
And I was in the third world. We supposed to be infested with all that kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I didn't know nothing about that. You know what I mean? And now people are starting to die younger of all this stuff. Mm-hmm. Why has everybody got diabetes so much? When I was growing up, people wouldn't have diabetes this much.
Oh, because of all the sugar packed crap that we're eating. And you know, and honestly, one of the okay, when at one point they tried to say, okay, sugar is not good for you, so here is this different kind of sugar.
Yeah.
That is this will be better for you. So they started putting, things like high fructose corn syrup and all that in everything because real sugar is not good for you. So here is this manufactured sugar. Well, then years later, doctors are coming out going, our bodies can't even handle that.
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff basically just sits in you, and that is it. It can't do anything. So now you have all kinds of people going back to real sugar again because they realized, okay, actually, the natural thing is actually better for you.
Here's how this working, right? They kill the sugar cane industry. Mm-hmm. Okay, saying, oh, this sugar is better. Yeah. Okay, now
the big corporate farms
are going to the sugar cane. Mm-hmm. Which one you think they're going to put in them thing down there? Huh? What do you think they're going to put in it to grow it? Huh? You think they're going to give up their chemicals?
He just slipped back into a little grenadine ease there. That was good. I think they're going to put in them day down there.
You think they're going to go out there and harvest a bunch of cows and use the manure from that? No, they're going to put them chemicals in there. Mm-hmm. You understand? Anytime anybody tell you, this is good for you, be skeptical.
Well, and right now, too, they're also figuring out that a lot of the chemicals that they're trying to use to obviously keep the things growing and keep all the bugs off of it so you don't lose half your crop is killing bees.
Yeah.
Which, I just saw something come out where they basically said bees are probably the most important thing on the planet. So for all of you humans out there who think that you're above everything else, look, if we disappear, if humans suddenly were just gone, Earth would keep going.
Oh, yeah.
Earth will keep going. Just think about all the times when you see basically abandoned towns or even abandoned building and how things just start to grow back over top of it. Yeah. Earth would still be there if humans vanished.
Oh, yeah.
But there are certain other things that if they disappear, we're in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
And bees are one of them.
I ask yourself this. Think about all the recalls we're having right now.
Yeah.
They just recall a bunch of ground beef. You know, understand?
How many times has romaine lettuce been getting recalled over the last few years?
That's because the last 2-3 years, my man lift all the damn what you call it they used to have on them, to keep them
all the environmental safety issues,
all
basically.
That stuff. No,
because that's a liberal thing. You can't do that.
And plus it's killing profit margin.
Yeah,
that's too hard on the farmers. You see how much stuff is getting recalled.
Too hard on the big time farmers.
Yeah.
They don't care
about the little guy.
Yeah, they don't care about Joe Schmo over there who's trying to run his several acres that he has and has to basically take his stuff to the local farmers market and hope to sell it. No. They're not caring about them.
No.
They're caring about the giant corporate ones that own thousands of acres.
Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? And think they don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Every time somebody say anything about fixing anything, it's communism. Yeah. Every time. And
why? Because
every time.
Because the news outlets, both sides, they throw that word out there and it terrifies everybody.
And nobody even know what communism is.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that we honestly as Americans know of communism is what the Soviets were. And the Soviets kind of bastardized communism.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not saying communism is a good system. That's not what I'm saying.
Well, but how many times have we seen something, whether it's been communism, capitalism, whatever it is, religions, that when you look at the basis of it, you go, that actually doesn't sound too bad. But then people get in charge of it, and they figure out a way to manipulate and con whatever they can out of it that then make people go, wow, that's evil, that's evil, that's evil, that's evil.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. A lot of people argue with me about, it's communism. I said, okay, so explain communism to me. And I tell you, the very first thing they said, well, you can't worship God.
Who said that?
That's what people usually tell me. Several people, but you can't worship God. That's the first place they go. Bruh.
Hang on.
I haven't no damn preacher make a million loaves of bread out of one loaf of bread to feed any starving nation here in the last 57 years I've been alive.
Oh, most of them big money preachers aren't doing anything to feed anybody. I mean, what's his name? Joel Osteen basically had to be ripped to shreds all over the internet when the hurricane hit Houston before he was finally like, okay, we'll open up our doors and let people come in.
I can't let you touch my my $50 million church.
And then they tried to say,
you little people.
Yeah, and then they tried to say, we just didn't have everything prepared yet. Man, you've been knowing for days that thing was coming.
What's he preparing? The Kool-Aid? Oh, do. Yeah. Pat Robertson says, Pat Robertson, Pat Robertson is the prophet.
I can just make sound effects out of you, dude.
Pat Robertson says that Trump is about to lose his heavenly mandate.
I never knew he had one. That's another one that's like, I'm sorry, for people who think that Trump is the moral compass for everybody, it's like, do we not remember what this dude has done throughout his life? I mean, I forget this guy's name, but he's another Dallas Baptist big money preacher who has been defending everything that Trump has done. And I mean everything. When people try to go to him and say, well, what about him talking about grabbing women's you-know-whats?
Wushu.
I forget what he said. I really wish I had the article in front of me, but he defended that.
God told him to again.
I don't think it was that, but still, he defended that. I mean, he has defended everything that would make what I would believe to be a good church person go, he's gross.
See, here's the thing, okay? At one of the, Democrats, you all think you're above stuff and blah, 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 blah. Check this out. At a rally with Elizabeth Warren, what were you guys chanting? Lock him up. Lock him up. But then you complain about them screaming, lock her up. Lock her up. The good thing is, Elizabeth Warren says, oh, no. We ain't going there.
Yeah.
She shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, no. What the blood clot you all do? I mean, it's...
I would have loved to have heard her say that. Everybody would have just went, what?
Oh, good Lord. An immigrant. Get her. Lock her up. Apparently what happened during that rally, some dude, walk by in the rafters holding up a sign about Make America Great Again.
Yeah.
So
they were saying lock him up.
No, they're saying lock up Trump.
You
know what I mean? Yeah. Do you really think they're going to lock Trump up? Come on. Did Nixon go to jail?
No, I was going to say if they do, they're just going to lock him in like his home resort down in Florida, put him on house arrest or something.
Was it Key Largo or Malago or whatever he calls it?
Something like that. Yeah, I mean, that's all they're going to do. They're going to put him house arrest in his mansion. Ooh, what kind of punishment is that?
Yeah, he could cheat on his wife there too.
With his maid.
Yeah.
With his maid that's from what country?
Mexico. You understand? That's some slavish stuff. We don't want you here, but we will bang your women.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Why do you think there's a lot of African Americans who've got some white blood in them?
You know what I mean? You know what I say?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not because the slave girl said, that white man looks good. No.
No, it's like they are animals, but the human when we go there.
We also know people have a problem with animals occasionally. But anyway.
Dude, they just arrested some guys somewhere for like multiple cows and goats and sheep and dogs and all kind of stuff. Multiple stuff.
Gross.
And they ain't brothers.
You got a pretty mouth.
Yeah, you got a pretty mouth there, Mabel the cow.
Moo. Boy, that just sounded sinister. That was like one of your Papa Jumbie laughs there,
Come
man.
on, brothers. Don't feel good because I do that, because some of you are all dirty too. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Don't say, yeah, it's only them do it. No, brothers. No, brothers. You in
man,
action too.
I'm sorry. I think that's an all people problem.
Oh yeah.
You
know what I mean? And thing, shoot. But I'm telling you, people, open your eyes. Because you know what? Getting all them guns and talking about we're going to fight against the government, that's a bunch of crap right there. It's just going to kill each other.
Yeah.
There's no gun fighting. That's why you have a voting in place. But don't just vote for voting's sake, man.
That's
such stuff.
Unfortunately, that's part of the problem too with the way that our system is set up, because too many people try to get into politics because they think that they can basically make a career out of it, make a lifetime
going to
out
preaching.
of it. Oh, this is an easy way for me to get rich.
Yeah.
And look, I've felt this way for a while, and I talked about this one time with two people who are big on you got to vote, but there are also a couple people where they believe that you have to vote for either the Democrat or the Republican, and that's part of the problem. Is we have been brainwashed that if you're not voting for the Democrat or the Republican, you're a communist or you're a socialist or you're a fascist. You don't you don't like our system, so there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
And look, if we had an election where, let's say, record numbers turned out, 100+ million people across the U.S. turned out to vote, and you've got the Democrat and the Republican, and most everybody hated both of them, but there were so many other people that they might vote for, or they're going to vote for themselves just to basically show, hey, I don't like either the Democrat or the Republican, so I'm going to vote for myself, I'm going to vote for my friend, I'm going to vote for this celebrity, I'm going to vote for that athlete. So you've got all these other people who get votes. Well, you can still have, or basically it shows that the majority of the country voted against either the two main people, the Democrat or the Republican. But if one of those two still ends up with the most votes, guess who still gets in?
But check this out. Even if they end up with no votes and the other people win, the electoral college is going to go, well, they're not qualified. Let's get
exactly.
Or all over a barrel.
Or on the same thing, if record numbers of people decide not to vote because they feel that the way that the system is set up, and man, I can't stand the Democrat or the Republican. Heck, I can't even stand the third party person, and they just decide, look, okay, we're going to make a statement this year and show we are fed up with all of it. We're not going to vote. The government's still going to go, well, we still had enough people vote for this one, so guess who's president?
Yeah.
We still had enough people vote for this senator, so guess who's your senator?
If you get half a vote, they still going to get him.
Exactly. If only 5,000 people turn out in the next presidential election to vote for president because the rest of the country is like, I'm sorry, this is all screwed up. There's no good option. You all suck. Well, somebody had 2,600 votes. You're president.
Yeah.
Even though you can show that 99.9% of the country did not want either one of those two fools, guess who's still your president?
Yeah. You have no choice, man.
Yeah. I mean, and that's why one reason why I get so I hated the whole when Puff Daddy did his thing, vote or die. I'm like, look, first of all, I'm going to try and shove my way of thinking down your throat.
Yeah.
Because they sure as hell weren't saying, because this was at the time when I think Bush and Kerry were running against each other. He wasn't saying, hey, if you want to vote for President Bush, that's fine. That's fine. Just get out and vote. He wasn't saying that. No, basically he was saying either you're going to vote for Kerry or you're going to die. I'm sorry. That's what he was doing.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry, Kerry was a fool too.
If you notice, not a whole lot of those black celebrities are coming out really hard against Trump.
Yeah.
Because they got a tax break.
Uh-huh. And how many of them were wanting to be friends with him back in the 80s and 90s? Because he was the epitome of richness in New York City. Mm-hmm. Oh, if I can get to stay at Trump Towers, I'm doing well.
You think they care about you?
If I'm hanging out with Trump at a club, oh, man, I'm doing well.
Hey, little people, you think they care about you, little people? That's what they call you, man. You know the kind of stuff they talk about you when you're not listening. Mm-hmm. You know, understand what I say and think? I hang out with some rich people. I know what they say. Just like I hang out with women when they talk trash about men and they consider me one of the girls.
That's frustrating, isn't it?
Not really, because I'm laughing and they give me more material.
It does make for good shows, I will say that. Yeah. It does.
So
it really
keep
does.
It coming, ladies. They don't do it much anymore because these days they think I'm just a debonair, sexy dude, so they don't really do it. But I mean, you listen, man. Just pay attention to what's going on around you. Stop getting duped. You understand what I mean? Because we had that happen in our country. Mm-hmm. That happens all over the world. It's not just here. Humans are humans wherever they are in the world. You're going to get duped by politicians. You're going to get duped by rich people, and you're definitely going to get duped by crooked preachers.
Yes.
At this point, I'm thinking 99% of politicians are crooked. Mm-hmm. I still have a little hope for preachers.
Look, there are some that obviously, I don't think it's 99%. Now, maybe 99% of those big money ones?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're keeping a buttload of that money for themselves. But, there are definitely some good ones out there. There are some good politicians out there who are trying to do something good. But unfortunately, I think some of those potentially gets swept up into, and they realize that, what, if I want to keep doing this, unfortunately, I got to play the game.
Yeah, if I got to keep women a lifestyle, because you know what, they're human too. Mm-hmm. They got mouths to feed.
Yeah,
you understand? And the thing
that's what I was basically told with my job, and how there was a certain person who felt they were in charge of everybody. That certain person is no longer here at this university, but who felt they were in charge of everyone. And my boss was trying to tell me, look, you just got to play along with the game. You've got to learn to kiss the ring. I'm sorry. I can't kiss the ring if I don't have any respect for them. If I see the way that they're treating people, if I see the way that they're talking to people, My first job, when I first started working at Burger King, I had a boss there, the guy who owned the joint. He owned 3 different Burger Kings. And everybody I worked with, this was the frustrating thing. If he wasn't there, it was, man, Mr. Smith's such a jerk. I'm sorry, that was actually his name. His last name was Smith. I still feel like that's an alias for something else. He's probably actually doing something, but whatever.
Einstein.
But I mean, everybody would badmouth him. But the second he walked,
called an anti-Semitic. But go ahead.
But the second he would walk in the building, oh, Mr. Smith, it's so great to see you today. Oh, Mr. Smith, it's so wonderful to have you here with us. I'm like, hey, man, you all went from a bunch of backstabbers to a bunch of butt kissers, and I couldn't do it. Yeah. I could not do it because, unfortunately, I got to hear from these people first how he's not a great owner, and then when he showed up, and I saw him, and I got to witness his, basically, I'm like, I can't,
Yeah, they be out there saying, Mr. Smith, there's a piece of paper on the ground to pick up. Oh, that's your job. No, Mr. Smith, your butt is like the perfect killing range.
Well, okay. To give one example, when the manager that night thought I was going to get fired, the manager asked me if I could run the trash because we were really busy and the trash cans all out in the lobby were basically about to overflow. Now that's going to look good. That's going to it's going to look awful to the customers. You know, if they try to open, the lid to get to the trash and here's the stuff just everywhere. So I'm trying to take care of that. And I'm about halfway done. I'm dragging these big heavy bags through the back because they're so full. And suddenly Mr. Smith he asked me, he said, "Hey, do those dishes back there by the sink." And I told him no. And he turned around and looked at me and he goes, "What did you just say to me?" And I actually said, "Are you hard of hearing?" I said no. And the look on my manager's face, you'd swear he saw a ghost. I mean, he went blank white. And he was already pretty white, but I'm talking he went
Casper.
He went Casper, full on Casper. As one of our strength coaches one time said, translucent. But and he just looked at me and he goes, "I asked you to do something." I said, "Yes, but I'm running trash right now." He goes, "But I asked you to do something." And I said, "Look, how about this?" I said, what do you think's going to look worse? Let the trash cans out in the lobby where all the customers are keep overflowing with garbage, or wash some dishes back here at the sink where nobody is and nobody can see it? What do you think's going to look worse? And he just stood there looking at me. I said, "I will do it when I'm done with the trash." He goes, "But I asked you to do it now." I said, "I will do it when I'm done with the trash." And I went to the back and I kept taking the bags out. And Brian, I swear to God, was his heart had to he had to be thinking, oh my God, I'm going to lose Scott. Oh my God, he's going to get fired. Didn't get fired. Now, that man probably didn't think that highly of me. I don't care.
Yeah.
But look, I have issues with bosses, whether they're male or female, that you can tell that they just don't care.
Yeah.
I've had people ask me before, like when Coach Stanton was here and I was working for her all those years with the softball team, people would say, "Man, how can you stand to work for that B word?" I'm like, it's really not that hard. If you do what you're supposed to do, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Like, she respects you. She treats you well. Like, but when you keep trying to undermine her and not do what she's hoping for, yeah, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
But, it's really not that hard. And because she was a good boss.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that hard for me to keep doing what was expected of me and even a little above and beyond sometimes.
It's hard now. It's hard. Retail is a whole nother beast when you really think about it, though. Because
look, I just worked fast food, man. Yeah. I don't,
Dude.
I didn't have to deal with people. I had a counter or a drive-through window between me and the people.
Yeah.
I didn't have this immediate interaction with that.
Going back to how people look at each other, too, you got these poor young people come in there with an EBT card and expect Gucci service.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you shouldn't get good service, but you want people to go above and beyond.
Yeah.
Like you're coming into the Ritz or something, and they actually think we're the peons that they could just like, you know what I mean?
And you know what? And I bet some of that is because too, wherever they might work, people are expecting that out of them.
Exactly.
And they're fed up with that. But then the unfortunate thing is okay, instead of me going, man, I shouldn't treat people like that because I'm tired of people trying to treat me like that.
Yeah.
They then in turn go somewhere else, whether it's going to the grocery store, going to a restaurant, going to just a place to buy some clothes or whatever. Then they turn around and treat the workers there the exact same way.
And the thing about it is, they really treat minimum wage workers like that. They absolutely treat minimum wage workers exactly like that because they figure something must be wrong with you if you're doing minimum wage.
Yeah. And you know what? That might be your only option.
You know how many teachers that are working for minimum wage now because of this situation?
Well, yeah. When you basically figure out the amount of hours they put in.
Well, I'm talking about they're not even teaching anymore. They're just working in retail.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people out there. You don't understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a lack of jobs. It's a lack of not creating jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're creating jobs.
Yeah,
lack of fast food jobs.
I was going to say lack of creating jobs that can
substantial
that
jobs.
can help people.
Yeah, you understand what I mean? So, we go in a while here. We're gonna cut it off and thing, but pay attention. Do your research. You ain't gotta go far. Go for the guy who's been saying, or the woman or the man or whoever who's been saying.
Who just waved at us?
That same kid that's always in there
Oh.
with the beard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wesley, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know their names anymore. I don't even try to remember now.
Yeah.
Go with the man who's been, or the woman who's been saying the same thing for years. Not the one who's flip-flop to boost
whatever's the trendy thing at the time.
To boost his political advancement.
Yeah.
So pay attention, man. I'm telling you, because it's only going to get worse if we don't start paying attention. Everything is money. Everything is money. You can't just go do anything without having to pay money. Everybody's just trying to make a buck off of everything. I mean, dude, people in Kentucky can't even afford water.
Yeah.
They have no water.
Well, we had that problem in Michigan, too, where the water was there, but, you don't want to...
In Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. The water is not the bad water. It's just that they can't afford the water. I mean, think about this. Water falls from the sky, and they tell you can't afford it.
Yep.
It falls from the sky, people.
We just got a whole lot of it here yesterday.
Dude, it's, in a lot of cities now, it's against the law to catch rainwater. Now you tell me if that's not a capitalism on steroids. It's not because they think the rainwater is bad for you. It's because they want you to spend money on the people who are bringing you the water to your taps.
Look, even if they really worry that the rainwater was bad for you, for one, you can buy even little filters to help out with that, or two, boil it.
Yeah, and another thing too, mark my words, and I know in some cities it's going to be against the law to grow little tomatoes and carrots and stuff like that.
To grow your own little garden.
Yeah, it's going to be against the law because you have to go buy that
I've got
stuff.
it inside my apartment by a window. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's not going to matter. They're going to be locking you down. I'm telling you, people, it's going to come to that if people don't open their eyes. Water!
And you know what's funny, too, is, just real quick before we get out of here along those lines, thing I read in National Geographic talking about some of the plans that they want to try and do with these cities to help things out is they want to be able to have these basically communal gardens, whether it's on top of a high-riser or even down the sides of the building to be able to, whoever's living there, okay, you take care of it and you can get it.
Yeah.
But I could see where it's like, well, you better be paying into it, not just you going and tending it yourself.
Yeah.
You better be paying extra into it. Your rent's going to go up.
Oh, yeah.
Your rent's going to go up $250 a month.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
or more.
Be like, man, there's 1,000 people living in this building. How can that garden cost that much? Doesn't matter.
And check the vibe out. They're going to go where we're feeding you too, so hey.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
I mean, and thing, we've been babbling for a while. Thank you guys for listening. Hey.
I believe. Okay, football kicks off Saturday at 2:30. I believe we can possibly have a show this weekend. I may need you to feed the dog for me.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see how that goes with timing-wise, trying to get out of football. But if you guys obviously like what you hear, and you want to hear the music as well that we like to play along, tune in Saturday nights, obviously when there's not a Marshall Athletic event going on, but tune in Saturday nights, 88.1 WMUL FM, www.marshall.edu/WMUL, stream 1. All the stuff gets streamed live on there, so you'll be able to hear the voices here again, plus the music that we like to play along with the show as well.
And we also go live on Facebook, so if you want to go join our Facebook page,
the Rudebuoyz. Rudebuoyz is all one word, and Rude, spelled just like you think, R-U-D-E, but then boys, not just B-O-Y-S, B-U-O-Y-Z. That's where a little bit of that Caribbean flavor comes into it.
It's going to be just as the podcast name.
Yes.
Boom.
There you go.
Boop.
There you go. The Rudebuoyz.
You know what I mean? That's the
just
brand.
Like that.
Anyway, guys, take it easy and stop fighting against each other for the scraps. You know what I mean? Feel like hyenas where they just throw like a piece of meat out there. Stop it. Don't let that bloody system get you down.
It's the Rudebuoyz. We're out of here.
Bye.